How long were you in your last relationship for?
5 years.
So have you started dating?
No.
Okay.
Not legitimately.
Have you gotten catfish? Because wouldn't that be like, imagine it's like Inception, you become the show.
No, that would be terrifying. And also, like, I would have to quit my job because I would be like, I'm not good enough or qualified to have this job, to have this role. But I am always terrified that anyone that I meet is going to be a mass murderer.
Why?
Because I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, I was like, are you listening to a lot of crime podcasts?
Yes, and that. A lot of true crime.
But when I met my husband, I was a little bit annoyed because I was like, I actually missed the dating pool. And everyone's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
It is not great out there right now.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me. I think we try to not lose ourselves in relationships, but often in unbalanced relationships, it can become very, very difficult to not forget parts of who you are or, you know, be tapped into certain aspects of who you are.
Yeah. What happens a lot of times with breakups is very rarely do they just poof end.
Yeah.
It is often that's just when it becomes public. And so I know for myself, my divorce in my head was 3 years before my actual divorce.
Yes. We do this all the time, though.
All the
like,
time.
as women, we do this all the time. And I was having a conversation with one of my guy friends about it, and he was like, why are you guys like that? Like, why don't you just leave? And I'm like, you don't understand. It's the unlearning. We have to do that whole
And we
process.
have to grieve it. We have to grieve so much.
We have to grieve it, and we have to ask you a million times for the same thing just to be 1,000% sure you're not going to give it to us.
I'll be honest, when I see people, if I'm going to be jealous about something, I get really jealous but almost sad that I'll never have like a 60th anniversary.
Why not?
Because I'll be dead. My husband and I are not making it to 60 years.
See, I have this delusion that I have like Peter Pan syndrome. Not that I want to stay young forever, but that I'm never going to die. So I'm going to have a 100th year anniversary.
What do you think about Ross and Rachel?
Okay, I never watched Friends.
Oh, you never watched Friends?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
This is like my biggest, it's one of those things where I think, you know, you're talking about people being in really toxic relationships.
Yeah.
And in that show, I vent about this a lot on Instagram. So everyone's probably annoyed that I'm going through it again.
They're like, here she goes with the Ross and Rachel
we
shit.
romanticize somebody who was obsessive, who was controlling, jealous, but it was like romantic. But I think that happens a lot of times when we talk about a toxic partner, we talk about a narcissist. I think we always expect for it to be somebody really obviously shitty.
Yeah.
And that's the part that everyone's like, why would you stay with somebody if they were like that? There's so many red flags. Why would you be there?
Yes.
Because you forget that there's the other side of it, that these people are normally very charming. They're not always calculated. They just have these habits or these tendencies or these ways of dealing with their own trauma or their own things that create these red flags for themselves or make them the way that they are. And that's not on us. A lot of times when people talk about toxic partners, I think we want them to be like these obvious assholes.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Monsters. Yeah.
They're not.
I mean, first thing that comes to mind, even though I don't watch Friends, Sex and the City, Big and Carrie.
Big and Carrie.
Big is a fucking narcissistic douche. And anyone who is like, oh my God, I love Big and Carrie. I'm like, first of all, Aiden was the one. She fucked it up.
Oh my gosh.
And Carrie is also a piece of shit.
But people are like, oh, they were the ultimate. They were this
No,
big couple.
they were trash. It really upset me when they ended up back together. Like, a man leaves you at the fucking altar. You were supposed to be in Vogue, and then Vogue had to put in little tiny letters to say that the wedding didn't end up happening, and Carrie Bradshaw is still single. I will be damned. You will never hear from me again. You will never, ever hear from me again.
I know. She deserved the big fluffy wedding that she wanted, and she ended up going to... Yeah, you know what? You're right. That too.
She deserved what she got for what she did for Aiden. Aiden tried to build you a whole fucking massive apartment, and you just shit on him because he asked you how your day was going regularly? You deserve nothing.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Dear Media content.